I'm Mrs. Joyce K. Martin. I reside in Norfolk, Virginia. In fact, I received services from Hawkins Heating and Cooling about 2.5 years ago and had installed a geothermal system. I chose Hawkins because he had come by several occasions and serviced our old gas pack that we had outside. And he sat down with me as always, and my system had shut down right in the midst of the winter season in February. And he was just most expeditious in coming past. And we were in here chilling and shaking and trembling and teeth chattering. And he came past here and he checked my unit out and he told me that it would be more economical if I were to replace it. And that's when he informed me about the geothermal system. I'd never heard of geothermal, but as Eric explained it to me, and he gave me the comparative cost between replacing with an exact gas pack as I had outside versus a geothermal system. Then he explained to me about the energy efficiency and the possible cost savings that we would experience with the geothermal system. And so after listening to him and him explaining me to it, and laying out the plan and showing me brochures and giving me a little education on the system and how it actually worked, and then he also showed me some testimonies and from some people who'd had it installed as well as individuals who were getting it installed, and I just got sold on that system. Well, it took us some getting used to it because the gas pack was different, of course, and we had our heating registers. They were located in the floor, but now they're in the ceiling. And Eric explained the advantages to that in that you could get heat rises, and since you have your registers and all up in the ceiling area, it would better serve your living space in your areas of which you use the most anyway. And so we ended up uh, saving, wherein our gas bills in the cold months of the year, from January through uh, probably the first or second week of April, they used to run us in excess of $330 to $45 per month just for the gas heat. But since we have the geothermal system, our gas bills are usually 20 some, $30 and some change. And plus, the other added benefit we have is that the geothermal system also provides for us in the summer months about 90% of our hot water, and in the winter months we get about 70% of our hot water. And that surely is a plus because our hot water heater also runs on gas. So we have seen a tremendous savings in our heating costs. And then the heating is comfortable heat and it's very clean heat. And my husband suffered with sinus problems, as do I, and I don't think anybody in this area doesn't have some sinus drainage or problems. But we've noticed that the breathing and the airspace is just cleaner, and we don't have the sinus infections and things that we used to have, the difficulties and irritations and the dry eyes and all those things. And we're just so pleased with our geothermal system and the benefits and the savings especially. And what I like about it too is the service life is good, but then the longevity of the unit itself, being that everything is inside the house, and I don't have to worry and concern myself with components and parts breaking down because of the elements, rain, and then condensation and humidity affecting the moving parts in the gas pack that I had, because I did have to get some parts replacing that gas pack through the years, and it did extend its service life. I think I had the gas pack about 14 years, and that's about the extent of a gas pack. But I know this one I should get twice the service time out of it because it's all inside a house here. Nothing is exposed to the outside elements. I would say get it because we had the gas pack here. That was our replacement unit. But prior to that, when we purchased this home, we had an in-floor furnace right in our hallway, and it just had a blower, and it had another little vent above to let the heat go to the top. But then the thing I must say, this house was built back, I believe, in 1952, and it's a Cape Cod. And anybody that has a Cape Cod, you know the difficulty. We've had people to come in and give us evaluations and estimates as how to get heat in the upstairs rooms because we have 2 large rooms upstairs and a full bath. And they never could come up, and it's an attic up there as well. They never could give us a means of getting heat and air upstairs. But Eric Hawkins, being the kind of person he is and so versatile with his design capabilities and workarounds, and he loves a challenge, he found a way to install this unit in our home, and we have heat in both rooms upstairs, and that was really, really a plus for us because we have the same comforts upstairs as we do downstairs, and the unit we have is adequate and it takes care of upstairs. And he even had it that he put in the necessary extensions that we will need, because our plan, we're going to stay here in our home because we love the area, we love our home, and we've been here a while. And we are going to extend one of our back bedrooms into a master bedroom here in the near future. And we already have the part of the geothermal system in place, the connector that we need to have it, that it will accommodate the additions that we will put here in place at our home. So all of the things about the geothermal system, don't knock it until you try it. You not only will save money, but the efficiency of the system, the longevity of the system to be there for you, and then the comforts you'll have in sleeping and even during your hours of activity in your home, I tell you, they're unsurpassed, and I highly recommend it. Oh, highly recommend. Let me tell you something. With me, service is king, and we had service extraordinaire. We were never disrupted in our normal course of living, in our day-to-day activities, and I stay extremely busy. And I know any disruption would have thrown me completely out of the water. But not only were we not inconvenienced, I was always able to prepare my meals here in our home, in our kitchen. Mr. Hawkins put in place in our backyard. He had to take out a section of our chain link fence in the back because our lot here is completely chained in around the fenced in front and back. And he took the chain link out and he put in place a trailer, self-contained, with running water, inside plumbing, the whole works, television, stereo system, radio, everything, fully accommodating, and could sleep 4 individuals with an extension and all. And we went out there and we're out there in the daytime, so we wouldn't interfere and disrupt them working here in place and wouldn't delay them. And then most importantly, he stayed on schedule. I never had to come in and pick up and clean up our living quarters. We could live in them, sleep in them. I think I ended up sleeping in the trailer probably a day and one night. And we were able to stay in our home. And he called the different artisans came in, the electricians, the people that had to drill the wells and put the things in place that they had to do in the system and cut the duct work. Everything went in just a synchronized pattern because he had scheduled and laid everything out. But the service, and even right to this day, which is February the 17th of 2012, Mr. Hawkins, whenever I call, he has one of his technicians to readily respond, and they call and set up a scheduled time that is convenient for me, and they come by and make adjustments to my dampers and to give me the blowing effect and the heat and the cooling delivery that I need in each living area based upon my need. And then he has an awesome service plan that he makes available that's affordable for anybody's budget. He has just, I tell you, with me, service is tops. And in this 21st century, most of the time after the sale, it's hard to get anybody back in place for the service end of it. But I tell you, he goes beyond the norm. And I highly recommend him to put in, whether it's a geothermal, a gas pack, fully electrical system, or whatever your preference is. You cannot find anybody else anywhere who will give you the level of service, the quality, the hands-on, and the support that you will receive from Hawkins Heating and Cooling Service. And I tell you, and I'm a person that's really hard to please. I'm a stickler for detail, very meticulous about things, but I tell you, Eric Hawkins, he's number 1 on my list.